Really trading at this very particular moment? Is it on social media or traditional media? Edem is seated here with us and we're going to be having a good conversation. So be assume netie because this is going to help you. Good morning. What's it then? Happy New Year.
Many happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm on some birthday. See you.
And easy crap. I mean, I appreciate all the messages, the posts and other things. I mean,
who try cake?
Yeah, try share fridge.
I don't know what you cake is fridge. I feel we cake be a fridge more. I see. Okay, quickly, let's get into it. I heard you through someone on radio.
Okay.
By a message you sent to Sarkodie. It was read.
Yeah.
Concerning the cost between Sarkodie and Samini.
Yeah.
So your message was read. And Sarkodie actually, agreed with some parts of your submission now, Udemai, concerning what is really going on between both of them and even the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
And I was very pleased because I said, I know Edem. And I know Edem is going to speak the truth and he's going to say it as it is and the advice would be on point. That is to say, Omo Kankaino, as someone kind say, Edem is from Ghanaian Times. Yes, and that is traditional media. But radio also traditional.
Yeah.
But misunderstanding in nano our social media.
Yeah.
You understand? Now we are getting traditional media losing grip to social media. There was a time I mean say traditional media no mistakes into me it cannot be tolerated because they are editors, they are this, they are that. It goes through a process. Because I see my Ghanaian Times said, "Baby, I didn't try. What's in the house or what's na?" Even for an interview, you understand? Say see no see pesi mo bi adwuma kra na. Ya kwhwe the numbers. Our social media and some ya fan nti sabio the numbers the doors kra na woni madwuma kra na. Ya kwa akoma no so. Na ye de nesio. Yes. Viral no ebe call because baby your the followers no ebe follow but then the quality edien na woka edien na wo ye edien na ye tie efri na no nia woka no no kra na ye no kra nia wo ye no eya na enye. All these things are roping in. Why is it so? Why is the traditional media like fading? You call baby wa brucha. I want to open it up so that everybody can talk about it too. You call brucha baby. Social media yes is strong, but the traditional media is solid. Why is it?
You see, at times that is the mistake people make. I do tell them, they say, oh, traditional media is dying, it's fading out. I mean, abrochene crowd, social media, and started developers. No. CNN is still huge. BBC is still huge. I mean, all the traditional media are intact. I mean, what is media? Media is a communicating channel. That is the media. So one is a traditional media because it's been there for ages. And one is a new media because it's just coming. So when there is a traditional media there, what it means is that we need to see the new media which has come to add to the traditional media as complementary. You understand? Because both of them are communicating channels. Everyone has its importance. Enkofu traditional media as one-way communication. That okay, the traditional media, when you ubo adverts here, yabo adverts, obi otifie no hwen, ontimi mbisa question. Now some see the social media as two-way communication. Say Max TV and obi post advert. Someone can question, the platform about certain things. So it's a platform where ubetimi na communicate.
But they used to do that.
Traditional media, so that avenue, no, more and I pay more program, more than number to for people to call. At times you open. So, I mean, all of them have the roles they play. Now, when you look at the traditional media becomes like a cross-check, like an avenue for cross-check, independent verification. Into Ubesha, when Kofi Annan died, the news broke on social media. But people were circumspect because they wanted to see a certain traditional media carry it.
And then it becomes authentic.
That is the power. I mean, so you cannot just simplistically rule out that power the traditional media carries. See, I say me based in social media, everybody would want to see an endorsement from a traditional media.
I always
to
want
say,
to cross-check.
to say
that.
it is true. Because why? The traditional media has put in place cross-check mechanism
Yes.
with news editors before they go out, because they know that they cannot just put anything out.
Exactly.
So the traditional media carries it. So in the face of all of these things, what should the traditional media do? The traditional media should ensure that they hold in high esteem that power of cross-check, that power of endorsement they carry. Because when you lose that power, then that is where you are going to be on the level with social media. Because, I mean, we had to cross-check with you, but now you are behaving like them, so we won't cross-check you with you. So the traditional media has a power which must be held in high esteem. So they need to ensure that they put in that sieving mechanisms to ensure that whatever they put out there is quality, is authentic, and it doesn't leave room for a lot of criticism. I mean, look at the content they put on social media. Someone can just get up and put a certain content there, but that same content cannot be put on TV because the program manager will have to say, oh, now you cannot go with this. It has to be this. There are a lot of news analysis or content analysis show on YouTube. The kind of tones they use, it cannot be put on a traditional media.
Please.
So all of these things are very important and vital tools the traditional media has, which it need not to lose on lose the grips.
Okay, before I forget this thing. Okay, yabaka tree from. Yeah, pesi can say TV na information me man authentic. The crack no. Tie radio na they cross check everything omo putting out. Unlike social media, dodo na yenka se ni na adodo na information bi wo hono a utimu say enkoyi. Enso na da ho because honom no a compound house. What do you say? Aha. Na me case so even those times na yeah, you know, the paper, the newspaper, you know, all these we do baby, they actually the news they put out, they also add the comments of the public.
Yeah.
I used to read
letter columns.
Yes, I used to read comments from people, you know, what they think about this person, and it was published as well.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, the traditional media has to make it their responsibility to not sebio behave like the social media.
Exactly.
Because enche bia no sebio asemi onyonkwa obi eko ebe voice be called viral on social media and on other platforms, WhatsApp nyama, about somebody accusing the police of narcotics and stuff mo planting wo car mu and at the end of koye say can send bebre at the military craft ye bebre, and it was all over in seconds. Social media was commenting, was concluding, were saying things. Social media has a way of making something true in less than 20 seconds.
Which is
making something a lie in less than 20 seconds. But we never saw any traditional media actually picking the story and playing it back.
Yes, because of
the structures and the cross checks you're talking about. Police for thanks to them and their way no ekwache onu akwo who say it's false. News na ekwa round ni na is false. According to them is alleged say the man in question or he witnessed it happening to someone in the car, but no, it was a whole lie. Then the traditional media picked it up and said that no, the police has done this, done that. Meaning, say, traditional media would go to the police to get the investigation and the news right. Now, if traditional media is doing this, most of the traditional media is doing this, then why is it that the social media is getting a whole lot? Why are we picking the numbers instead of the quality?
I mean, like I earlier said, each of the platform has their importance, the relevance. So the reason is that platform no emma a certain value bia on also feel say ontiminya, like you can set up your own new media. You can set up your own Facebook, YouTube. But it takes too much to set up a traditional media. So because it is easy to, set up, that is why people are running to it. And there is something we call real time. That ubeti media are fast about team panel at all.
Not at all.
But be big banny team one. Even calling on traditional media at times, and you'll be afraid to me bem. Because a lot of people are calling. So that social media has that flexibility, has that easy accessibility, and it has created that. And also it serves as a certain personal platform for people to communicate their emotion, people to reminisce with their old friends and other. So because of that usefulness and I say importance now as serving, people are easily to switch to what, because at least Onusu Betimia set up his own or her own, media platform to reach out to a lot of people. So, that motivation is making people go there.
The world has changed, evolved in such a way, say, digital space, anyway, now, yet to me, your home free, your career, so, internet definitely is going to be there. Now, the question now is, what must the traditional media do? You know, to make sure, say, because definitely, I love having Instagram and Facebook and everything. We love to have our opinions out there, our opinion out there, our suggestions out there. We love to comment on Edem, happy birthday. You to me go carry TV, so you know what's opportunity, no. We love, the social media space because, well, acquire freedom of speech kakra, any opinion kakra, suggestion kakra, free me kwame timia ya me pe kakra, siwe. But then, what is the traditional media going to do? I'm hoping for a day where the social media is doing what social media is doing, but when we want valid content, we want
authenticity.
Yes, authenticity. And we want ethical, like values
accurate.
And accurate and everything. We know, say we have to go to the traditional media. Because like you said, CNN is working, BBC is working, and everybody goes there. Al Jazeera cry, obey them, we follow up. Because Mukasa Obia will say, who were TV swap?
So, what the traditional media needs to do is that they have their primary roles, primary objectives. They need to stick to that. They need to invest.
Some objectives as well.
The objectives are to, if you are into sports, your objective is to cover the sports platform for your viewers. If you are into entertainment, your objective is to, cover those aspects to them.
Okay.
However, that kind of innovativeness, maybe you are into entertainment, you decide to go create a certain program which you will invest a lot in to bring a certain kind of quality which a normal, social media platform cannot do. Because of your power, you have a certain access. Maybe today you can go and say, I'm having a conversation with Sarkodie. A social media platform cannot have. So we need to utilize our power. That, okay, today we are having a conversation with the minister of this. That local, normal YouTube, normal Facebook or YouTube platform will not have. But if you allow yourselves for the YouTube and the social media platforms to, brand themselves in such a way that they are rather having access to those content than you, then definitely the public will go there. So we need to utilize the power we have. It's on traditional media, no creative content, you see that thinking has gone in. So you don't just allow anything like Obi social media. 1 minute now he's on the traditional media platform. And a lot of thinking
this
needs
is
to
the
go.
case where all these traditional platforms are also on social media. You understand? So how then, as babies, Ebisano, do we stand out? Because definitely, when an information breaks, CNN will definitely put it out there. You get what I mean? On social media, we'll see it on Facebook, we'll see it on Twitter, we'll see it on TikTok. We'll see. They are all also in this social media space.
It's not a fight. It's not a fight. Earlier, I can say media is a communicating channel. So if there is a social media, you, the traditional media, take advantage of
that
it.
space.
So make sure you are dictating the pace.
Okay.
What's your say? So when something happens, everybody has a social media page, but people will come to you. And don't forget that that tool also becomes like an advertising platform for you. Because you are also reaching more numbers. And it's helping you to even maximize your brand to continuously stand out. That is why when you go to some traditional media platforms, you see huge numbers following, huge engagement. It means that they have utilized the platform and making their brands big. So it's another form of brand extension. So you don't need to sit down and say, I'm a traditional media, I won't go to social media. No. There is a new generation app which is known as the Gen Zs. How do you reach out to them? You need to reach out to them through the traditional media. So you need to take advantage of the platform, get to the Gen Zs. And there will be more generation of the digital space. Make sure you are in. Because you've already established yourself as a traditional media, it's going to make it easy for you to win them because you have that credibility. So let's take advantage of the credibility we carry and run with both traditional and new platforms. So that when the traditional media conquers the social media space, there's going to be sanity. So we will not be, talking about a lot of fake things on social media because we will be controlling the narrative. So we need to own the space, control the narrative, and set the standards.
So who controls the algorithms, especially when it comes to the social media space? Because it is really disturbing. There are certain information that you go on social media, you cannot escape them. You have to scroll and you see them. You're engaged with this particular information. Who controls those algorithms so that at the end of the day, we see that the traditional media still has their power, but it is very controlled, the information that goes out there.
It was the people who set it up.
Okay.
They control it. It's also becoming a business platform for them. So the owners have also put in place a certain mechanisms almost any money to be able to keep the platform alive. So in that, because social media not something is selling about in common just add is showing. So these are some of how the ways they have devised the algorithm. Some will record you and others. On my algorithm in such a way that it's so the AI, artificial intelligence, is so high that it can read your mind. It can suggest certain things to you are thinking about. So they control the algorithms and they control in such a way that it will help them to still be in business, to be able to, keep their platform alive.
Wow.
So I like the fact that you're saying that we need to do things differently. You go on certain platforms and the traditional media, they all have, we Max TV have our handles and everything. Almost every traditional media has its own social media.
Quickly, on that,
yes, please.
I was in Russia. I went to do a course at the English State Media out in Russia today. And they control the social media space in Europe. And some of the things they do. They could take 360 camera, go to the space, and go and take 360 view of the space and come and put it on their social media platforms. Why? because he knows that ordinary social media user doesn't have
that
the power.
opportunity.
So he goes and comes and he gets into your head. You have to follow him because he can show you something you can't see it anywhere. I mean, so these are some of the tricks some are using. Like, look at BBC, CNN, look at some of the documentaries and some of the coverages they put on. I mean, and some of our local...
And then they leave their links with you, so you would have to go back to them.
Our local channels, some of the news content, documentary content, interviews we do when we put there. I mean, these are some of the power we carry. We need to utilize them very well so that we continuously be referred to. Because we can still be big traditional media on a social media platform. It's just a channel.
So in conclusion, would you say that it is best that we keep our traditional media?
Yeah, we need to keep them because, I mean, if we do not keep them, a lot of people complain about things on social media. If we do not keep them, it means the complaints will move from maybe 40% to 60%. I mean, we will be creating problems for ourselves.
Yes, that's
because
country.
if you don't like the way certain information are flashed on social media, then you want to keep your sanity. You need to keep the traditional media alive to protect your own sanity because they will set the standards and not bring you anything.
Se unimua, thank you, Edem. Se unimua, TV, any radio, any newspaper, see, it keeps the balance in the system.
Yeah.
It keeps the sanity in communication. It keeps the truth circulating because ye need television, ye need radio, and ye need a newspaper. Na kansam a ekoso social media ni ne ke bebu man ni kurabu ebe sai man no si we ho aha nti obi ho no mo a me ka say me ne umienu ye wo social media but obi ni ho ono no hwe ni TV utie ni radio iti de bia no onya ni intact. That is to say yenye ete TV so yenye ete radio so that means we have a bigger responsibility, you know, to make sure say our objectives, as Edem is saying, is right. Our structures are respected, and we make sure that we are giving to the public what they cannot get on social media. And we are giving to the public the truth. We are giving to the public the things they can emulate. Ni ebeti mi abwa o maino. Sabe me ni say we are sim baby akoyeku I start free social media. There be. I know say a lot of information ekoso. If the first thing they do is to cut off their social media
because people are gullible.
Maybe escalate but then when they want to
they don't save anything.
Yes, if they want to, they don't save anything. If they want to say something to the public, to the country, they want to do an announcement or anything, they go straight to the traditional media. TV now very good. Radio now very good. Yes, so you have a home as traditional media to give you the
best, live to the standard
and give you the standard that you deserve. Thank you, Edem. And I'll pay well educating. I'm very sure say watch a lot of people in crime. So I am very happy that we had this conversation because sometimes why are you guys doing this on social media? And then you want to, I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much. And again, happy birthday to you.
Many thanks. And quickly, that's why at times when the traditional media airs, people give it to them because they hold you in a certain high esteem. They expect you to behave a certain way.
And know better.
So, I mean, that's the power we carry.